Hi, today is January 26, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 154 for the year. It's called Amulet, and it is for Arden, Leigh. She said she wanted a magical amulet that would glow in accordance with her brainwave coherence and heart rate variability. She wanted a device that would signal her feelings without her having to voice them. I don't know if I would want such an amulet myself if no one else had one. Already, one of the things that bothers me about myself is how hard it is to hide my emotions. But if such a thing became a thing, I would play along. If people could see the emotions of others, I am sure they would be much more inclined to be kind to each other. And I would love to be able to know whether I am amusing someone or they're just humoring me, whether I am turning someone on or whether I'm about to get a polite rejection, whether that person who is yelling at me is actually angry or just very sad and or lost and or frustrated. I admit, I am much more interested in reading the feelings of others than I am in signaling my own more than I already do. But if I was going out on a first date and she said, "I'll wear my amulet if you wear yours," I would make that trade. Poem number 155, Two Alexes. On Morton Street between 7th Avenue and Morton Street, there once lived two Alexes that I used to know. Alex Garvin, who went on to form Pianosaurus, has been more or less missing for decades. No one I know who used to know him knows what happened to him. The other Alex was Alex Laszlo. There's a third Alex named Alex de Laszlo, who was in the first version of King Missile, Dogfly Religion, but as far as I know, he never lived on Morton Street. I went to IS-70 with Alex Laszlo, and I haven't seen him since. But unlike Alex Garvin, he never went missing, as far as I know. I've been passing through Morton Street between 7th Avenue and Hudson Street on city bikes for several months now. So from time to time, I think about the two Alexes. I assume that Alex Garvin no longer lives where he used to live, because otherwise, how would he be missing? But I thought perhaps that Alex Laszlo might still live where he used to live, since it's probably a rent-stabilized place that he might have inherited from his parents. So one day when I was walking past rather than biking past, I went inside the building to see if there was still a buzzer for Laszlo, and there was. I'm not sure what, if anything, I will do with this information, but I am glad to have it. Now, if I could solve the mystery of Alex Garvin, I would really be getting somewhere. Poem number 156, Old Time Religion. Give me that old-time religion. Not that religion from the 18th century or even the 8th century. I mean really old, like before Christ or Buddha or Muhammad or Moses. That old-time religion before temples or churches or mosques, where maybe there were altars but they were outdoors. Or maybe I'm talking about some Stonehenge type shit. Really, really old-time religion. Give me that old-time religion. It's good enough for me. Poem number 157, Govindam. The oldest old-time religion song that I know the words to is only from around the 13th century, but maybe it will be good enough for me today. It's from the Brahma Samhita, but I first learned it off of an album that I bought from a member of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness when I was 13 or 14. He told me that the album was produced by George Harrison, and I didn't believe him, but he sold it to me for like $2, so I was like, fuck yes. It turns out it was produced by George Harrison, and it also turned out that the album had the Sanskrit lyrics printed on the inside sleeve, along with the translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I learned how to sing many of the songs on the album in Sanskrit, but I never memorized the translations. Today I will sing my favorite song from that album. It's called Govindam, and it goes like this. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Venam kanvantam aravinda dalaya taksam Parhavatam samasitam Buddha sundarangam Kanda pakoti kamaniya visesa sobham Govindam adipurusham Tamaham bhajamihi Govindam adipurusham Tamaham bhajamihi Govindam adipurusham Tamaham bhajamihi Angani yasya sakalendriya vitimanti Pasyanti panti kalyanti Chiraham jaganti Anada chinmaya sadhu Valavigrahasya Govinda Madipurusham Tamaham bhajamihi Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham bhajamihi Govindam Haripurusham Tamaham bhajami. It felt good to sing that just now. Here is the translation, which I had to look up. I worship Govinda, the primeval lord, who is adept at playing on his flute, with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with the figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids. I worship Govinda, the primeval lord whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, and substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane. If I'm honest, I've always liked the Sanskrit better, which is probably why I never learned the English, although the English is pretty sweet. And the last poem for today, poem number 158, Teenage Transcendence. Really die-hard King Missile fans might recognize the lyrics to Govindam, song I just sang, from Title Track, the first song on the Mystical Shit album. I don't remember what gave me the idea to talk the other members of Missile into coming up with quasi-raga sounding music so that I could sing about Govinda on an album, but I'm glad I did. The song was on our set list for quite a while, so I traveled around the country singing about Govinda, the primeval lord, and his flute playing and his lotus petal eyes and his transcendental form to many thousands of people. I don't remember ever being asked what I was actually singing, which is just as well because I didn't know it precisely. I just knew it was a song about the awesomeness of Govinda. I do want to say that singing that song and other Sanskrit songs gave me more transcendent joy as a 13 to 18-year-old than anything I had ever experienced up until that time. But it should also be noticed that I didn't lose my virginity until I was 19. Okay, that's all for today. It was a long one. Thank you if you stayed through to the end. I appreciate it. It gives me transcendent joy to do these videos. I hope you like them too.